Roblox games based on true stories. There's a couple of them out there with dark and creepy pasts. I'm going to take a look at some of the most popular Roblox games to see what inspired their dark and creepy stories, starting with Brookhaven.
Roblox games with
horrifying backstories.
Okay, here we go. Why is it so violent there?
There was a report of a serial killer who has killed lots of people for the past few days. The killer was named Josh the Chopper, and he usually kills his victims at night. He was all over the news, and this one high school girl saw it as well. But she was actually interested in the killer and wanted to find him. She hears a knock on her door, and she sees it's her dad with an axe in his hand. The serial killer also uses an axe to kill his victims. So the girl thought it was him, but it wasn't, so she left to go to the woods and find him. Suddenly, she sees him coming towards her with his axe, ready to kill. She was gone after that. Stay safe.
Oh no, she got the chop. So Josh the Chopper, I looked that up and I'm not really getting any results off of that. I mean, unless he's saying that this guy's the inspiration of Brookhaven, which probably isn't. But what is a possibility in Brookhaven is that there's a group within the game called the Agency. Now the Agency kind of resemble the Men in Black. And for those of you who don't know, the Men in Black isn't just a movie about aliens. It's been a wide myth in real life as well, that they could possibly actually exist. So yeah, the Men in Black have actually been talked about since around the year 1947, where it was claimed that a man in a dark suit warned him not to discuss his alleged UFO sighting on Maury Island. Yeah, there's a whole wiki page about them. So pretty much the Men in Black are supposed to be government agents dressed in black suits who question, interrogate, and threaten, or even assassinate unidentified flying object witnesses to keep them silent about what they've seen. And here's a popular image where a lot of people thought that this is the Men in Black themselves. So back to the connection of Brookhaven, the game does have this green zombie-like alien creature, which, you know, that is exactly what the Men in Black deal with, so there is some connection there. Also funny timing, because just recently some people came out in front of Congress saying that aliens do in fact exist.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
Now I'm gonna be honest, this guy does or used to in fact work with the government, and he's also pretty well known for talking about aliens, but never actually bringing up any actual proof, so I'm a pretty big skeptic, so I'll believe the truth of aliens when I actually see it. As for the Men in Black existing, it could be a possibility, but it could also be an urban legend. We may never know, they're so secretive. But let's look at some more games with real life backstories.
Roblox games with
horrifying backstories.
So scary with the intro.
So there were these strange men trapped in a tall tower. Those men were told to do obstacles to get to the top of the tower.
Yeah, it's like a death
game. The men, though,
game.
Refused to do it because it looked dangerous.
Yeah.
But when they were told they won't have food unless they make it to the top, they were convinced. So the man went on the first
Not
level,
even for their lives, they're just doing it for the food.
Bridge. He was so nervous that he almost slipped and fell. But he reached to the second level, but it wasn't as easy as the one before. It had lasers and spikes that could key him, but he does it anyways. Suddenly, something went wrong. The lasers were moving, and the laser hit the man's leg and chopped it off. He then fell to the ground and was gone. Stay safe.
What are people saying in the comments? So this person says that actually it was a group of kids that were like 8 years old that were forced to climb the tower. Okay, no, this is not true either. A lot of these games like Squid Game, Sorta Online, and even more recently God's Will, all share a similarity. They're all within the death games genre of fiction. But are any of these death games actually real? Were any of these inspired by real life? Well, I do have a few stories actually. So God's Will is actually based off a manga called As the God's Will, as well as the movie with the same name. But in real life, there was actually an incident that involved a pizza man with bombs strapped around his neck that were going to explode if he didn't rob a bank on time. And yeah, this is 100% true. This was a device that contained the bombs. And I don't really want to talk too much about it because it's pretty bad, but there was actually a movie based off this incident as well. Also, what's pretty crazy about Sorta Online is that someone actually made a VR headset with the capability of actually killing the user if they die in the game. So for those of you who don't know, in Sorta Online, a pretty basic premise. They play a virtual game wearing a headset where if they die in the game, they die in real life. And this person, Palmer Lucky, made that into reality. To commemorate the Sorta Online incident, oh my gosh, on November 6, 2022, I made this device with the capability of killing the user. If you die in the game, you die in real life. Now you might be wondering, who'd be crazy enough to develop such device device? Well, that crazy person is actually the creator of the Oculus VR. You know, only the most popular headset that now belongs to Metaverse. Yeah, that creator, he made this contraption here. So you might be wondering what those 3 devices on the headset are. Well, simply put, the creator used 3 explosive charge models that would activate when the screen flashes red. So when the appropriate game screen is displayed, the charges fire and instantly destroying the brain of the user. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Why would they do this? The guy even says that he has plans for an anti-tamper mechanism so that it'd be impossible to remove the headset. That's pretty creepy. As for that VR headset right now, well, it's currently a piece of office art for him as a thought-provoking reminder of the unexplored avenues in game design. It is the first non-fiction example of a VR device that can actually kill the user. It won't be the last. But let's continue on.
Roblox games with
horrifying backstories.
Okay, who do we got here? The Mimic.
Basically, a long time ago, there was this girl.
Oh, this one.
And her ancestors were big
Wednesday?
puppet lovers. They loved playing with their puppets every day.
Okay.
The ancestors did seem to be a little strange, but she never really cared. One day, it was the girl's birthday, and her ancestors gave her a present.
Did they give her a puppet?
That they made themselves. It looked exactly like her from the top to the bottom. She didn't realize something though. Her ancestors actually gave her a curse, and her soul came inside the puppet.
Oh.
She got so angry that she keyed at her parents. And now, she roams the house on her own, taking new people day and night. Stay safe.
Something tells me that's not actually true about the Mimic. So yeah, the Mimic is a really popular Roblox game that has had almost 1 billion visits so far, and it's still pretty active to this day. But is it actually a true story? I mean, on the description it says that 4 stories created from Japanese history and urban legends with a twist. And Real Roses Are Red actually made a video titled "The Mimic is based on true stories." And yeah, she just pretty much talks about the lore and what these characters could be inspired off of. There's a lot of different connections with a lot of Japanese folklore. And the comments even compare the characters with what they could be based off of. For example, Megami is actually based off of this legend here. And then Hanzu can actually be based off of this entity as well. And yeah, all these Japanese folklore have a lot of history. I mean, it's pretty obvious that the creator himself really loves Japanese folklore. I mean, his avatar even says it right there. Wait, those flies? And yeah, the company behind the Mimic is actually working on a new game called Yokai, which, if you don't know what that means, is the Japanese word for ghosts and demons. So that'd be pretty exciting as well. But let's continue on with more true story videos.
Roblox games with
horrifying backstories.
Okay, what's next? Adopt
So there
Me.
was a group of friends.
How is this gonna be
real?
real?
And they realized that one of their pets were cursed.
Wait,
and
how
that
did they realize
curse spread
that?
through the friend group, which caused all of the friends to pass away except one.
Wait, what?
And it was this guy named Bert. And he realized that all of the people around him are NPC. So Bert pretended to be one. The only way for Bert to survive though was to disguise as a pet. But then something happened. The cursed pets realized Bert was trying to disguise. So they cursed him and he passed away. Very sad.
Yeah, I hope I don't have to tell you that story is fake. But yeah, if you like this video, make sure to subscribe. Goodbye.